Welcome to my little tour of the 16-to-1 gold mine. You can see the ore carts here, and I think they're electric. And then you see the water and electrical pipes there. They have to run both the water inside and out, and an electrical in, so they have power and lighting down inside the mine. And this is a picture of the old family. They're all grown and gone now, except for me. My son Abe there in front, then Sebastian Tikin, and then Carol on the left. And these pictures are all taken in the dark, so we can't see the camera. And I'm farthest back in there, so I'm just kind of trying to see where the heck the guy is. I don't even know where he's holding the camera at in that picture. So these are pictures taken totally in darkness, that you can't even see your hand in front of your face, unless you have your lights turned on, which we did have on top of our helmets. That's a calcium deposit there on the side of the rock. And that pretty much calcium just starts eating everything up in there, in the whole part of the mine. It gets onto the wood, as you can see in this picture. And there's so much water in here that they have to replace the timbers every few years because they rot because of the amount of water and moisture that's underneath there. There's no way for the sun to get in there to dry it out, so the water just stays in there and goes into the wood and just rots it. And there's a good picture of the calcium right there. And this is just some debris sitting there on the bottom. We took all kinds of pictures in there. Like I said, we were in the dark using flashlights, and we'd turn off our flashlights when we took the pictures. And so they take these side tunnels after they got the gold out of them. They'd stuff some of the debris down in there temporarily till they get ready to go in there and clean it up. And there's a bunch of the old calcium corroded piping. Wow, look at that. And there's a tunnel up there in the top. It kind of goes up at a 45-degree angle from where you're standing. There's all kinds of tunnels going all kinds of different ways in here, and many different rooms. There's some really neat pictures in here, and the reason I took pictures is because if I had a video camera, well, I'd have to have the lights on all the time, and it's just not possible because there is no lights other than the ones that you have on your helmet when you're allowed to go down in there. Look at that quartz sidewall on that. It's pretty neat because there are places in here where you're walking through solid white quartz tunnels. They've just been totally carved out of the quartz. And I got some pictures of that too coming up. You can see why it says keep out in this picture. Look at that ceiling, how it's come down on top of that beam totally and broken the other beam there on the left-hand side. It's really, really dangerous in there. And the mine's always moving. And it's some of our fellow Goldhound members. Some more debris and some more of the rotted logs that have just been taken out by the ever-crushing roof. That's a group picture. This is from December 2004, like I said at the beginning of the movie. And that's a brightened picture that I took. I brightened it up here on the computer. Basically, it's the same picture, but it's just kind of like a before and after, so you can see the difference in what I did with the computer to brighten the pictures up, because otherwise it was pure darkness and there was no sense in even putting it in there. So everybody stood there and posed, and they could barely see me off in the shadows. And here's a side tunnel that went up the top, and look at the quartz all around. We were surrounded by quartz in many places. And here's one of those quartz tunnels I was telling you about. You're walking through this quartz tunnel, and it is just magnificent. There is nothing better than the feeling of the gold that is all around you in this place. I mean, you can feel the gold in the walls. And I don't know about how a lot of you guys work with metal detectors, but I mean, I'm like a natural metal detector myself. I can find gold all over the place just by feeling it sometimes. And I've found coins and gold and all kinds of stuff without even metal detectors, just by kicking the rock over, that I feel that there's a nugget underneath there, or I feel there's a coin underneath there. And look at those broken beams up there on the top right of that. I mean, the roof is coming down and it's broken, all those beams. So they got to go back in and redo the whole thing, so it's off limits right now. Another broken beam going down. this snow white quartz and the gold that's stuck in the snow white quartz is what this area is known for in Alleghany, California. The 16-to-1, the yellow jacket, the morning glory, just to name a few. There's plenty of other ones. There's another group shot that was taken by my friend Bob, who's standing up on the hill. We're going to see him here in a second. He climbed up into that tunnel with the permission of the people in there, because we're minors, so they kind of let us do our own thing for the most part. And so he climbed up into that tunnel and took the picture looking down at everybody else. And there's a good picture of the quartz right there. Imagine if that was just laced with gold. And we're going to see some pictures of that coming up soon, towards the end. I've got all kinds of gold pictures there at the end that just my own family's gold for the most part. I don't have any. I have a few pictures of nuggets from the 16-to-1 here. And then most of it's, a lot of pictures are from the gold that came out of the morning glory, which is the mother, because the 16-to-1 is part of the morning glory group. And if you want to know more about the 16-to-1, all you got to do is just type it into your browser, and you can go there and you can read all about the 16-to-1 mine, and you can even buy gold right straight from them. They have it for sale right now and at all times. And it's beautiful gold, and I highly recommend that, buying the 16-to-1 gold over any other gold around, because if you want a natural nugget that came right out of the ground with snow white quartz and crystalline gold and a nice story about where it came from and everything, then visit the 16-to-1 mine website, and you can get it right there. There's a nice shot of the tunneling, you know, and you can see the tracks down there on the bottom, and then there's a cable for the wire. And I believe that's one of the winches for moving rocks and boulders out of the way. I can't see it from this little picture I've got here while I'm making this video. I'm just assuming it's one of the winches. I'm sure it is. And there's some cable and some more debris in one of the smaller tunnels. That's a little pool of water you're looking at there, and you can see the reflection off the water. And look how narrow that tunnel is. I think that narrow is only about 4 feet tall, and the people go in there and they go back and you see that little tiny hole, and they find a little pocket of gold, they dig the gold out, and then they go on from there. It's a real beautiful place. I love going inside the old mines. There's some more shots of the track, and you can see the old piping is so worn out, it's laying on the ground now. I mean, being in a mine and working in a mine is just constant work non-stop. You know, you're constantly shoring and reshoring and tearing out old timbers and putting in new timbers. It's not an easy job, not by any means, because as you could see from those other pictures, the ground is always trying to collapse itself. It's always trying to compact itself and move lower and lower. Here's a good picture of what it looks like when you have no idea where the camera is in front of you. He turned off his flashlight and he could not see what was going on, and then you get that bright flash and boom, that's the face that you get, man, because you don't even know how your face is looking when you're underground in total darkness. And Bob, he's good people. He took a lot of pictures for me. Hope you guys are enjoying this little pictorial movie, because I've got so many pictures from, oh, I think 2002 and before. No, it was 2008 and before that I'm going to put together a few of these albums like this. And there's another shot where we really had no idea where the camera was. Take a look. None of us is looking at the camera. We all think we are, but we're not. And that was Bob that took that picture too. It sure is a beautiful place. There's water there again. That was a little pool deep inside the mine where we were at. Yeah, we had to wear rubber boots when we were down the mine. It was required to have rubber boots and warm clothes and a jacket, because it was cold down there. No matter what time of year it is, when you're that far underground, it is not warm. I think it was in the 40s, if I remember correctly. That's the overflow from that little pool you just saw right there. And, oh, there's Sleeping Beauty there in the background. Looks like Abraham knows where the camera is, and Sebastian's doing okay, and they're standing by one of the other orc hearts. And there's another good shot. Yeah, they were all pretty tired by then because we spent a couple hours walking through that mine, and everybody was really tired walking out of there. Especially they'd been in there in the dark that whole time. They're not used to it. They weren't in the, going down inside of mines and crawling around as kids like I was, except for my kids. I brought them up inside the mines like that. This is the power inlet where the power comes in, and they run it into here. Then they supply the rest of the mine from right here, that little power transmitter, power station. Then they have the rocks all held up by that wire there, and there's the light at the end of the tunnel. So we're just about done with this tour of the inside of the mine. And I always hung towards the back because I like to get the best pictures when there was nobody else around. It was totally dark. That way I could take my pictures in complete and total darkness with all the lights off after I set the camera up. And I was able to get these nice shots like this and then brighten them up here on the computer. And there's a picture of some of the equipment used to separate the gold from the quartz. Little classifier there, and it comes down into this ball mill. And then it goes out of the ball mill, and it separates on out, and they put it onto a shaker table eventually. And the table, I also have a shaker table video here on YouTube that you can watch too. It's the UHF table. It's not the same table they have here, but it works really good, and it gives you an idea of how shaker tables work in action. These pictures don't really do it justice. And now that's some of the gold that I bought from the original 16:1. And like I said, the 16:1, the Morning Glory, they're all in the same vein. So the Tightener vein. Let me go ahead and read this. This is written by Wally Hardy, who is my dad, my stepdad basically. I was adopted, and he was married to my birth mom. So here we go. The Morning Glory Lode Mine, first prospected in the 1870s, located approximately half mile on Kanaka Creek, above the original 16:1 gold mine in the historic mining community of Alleghany, California. The first and only owners were Martin Rohrig and his 3 sons. This lode claim produced some of the most spectacular crystalline gold in white quartz matrix ever mined. From 1943, for a period of some 8 years, a single chunk of this extraordinary vein, weighing over 7 pounds 11 ounces, was entered in the California State Fair, winning first place each and every year. It was then retired. Because of the particular geographical location of this gold, it has a unique tone that is recognized by those who worked the great mines. This collection is now in the custody of his great-grandson, Wally Hardy, and that was him, but Wally passed away, and nowadays most of the collection has been sold off. But this piece here is one of mine that you're seeing, and I actually bought this out of the estate. It was one piece at one time, and what I did was I couldn't tell the gold content in it. I knew there wasn't much because it was just, like I said, it was one solid piece of just some of the ore that came out of the mine, out of the Morning Glory. So I went ahead and I broke it up into these few pieces so you could see the gold that's inside the quartz. I mean, as one piece, it was mostly just showing, quartz, not a lot of gold. When I broke it open, it got to where you could see the gold a lot better. And so that's what I'm showing you here is just that one single piece. That's now 5. And this is what you do. You take the big pieces sitting here, you put it through a crusher, you crush it all up, you get the gold out of it, then you sell the gold after you melt it into a bar. That's pretty much how you do it. As far as an actual specimen piece, well, this really wasn't a specimen. It was pretty much just worthless until I went ahead and I popped the extra quartz off the outside and got to where you can see the actual gold. Yeah, since Wally passed away, most of this gold that you're seeing here was given to his other daughter, who pretty much just split it up with the way she wanted to. And that's just some nice pieces. That one big piece of gold in the upper right, or that piece there, I sold on eBay for Wally, and I think it fetched around $800 back in the day when gold was about $800 an ounce. And then you can see the big nugget up there in the upper right. That's about 1.5 ounces of solid gold. And I don't know whatever happened to that stuff. It kind of disappeared with the sister. So that's another piece. That's a real nice piece there. You can really see the crystalline gold and the white quartz. That's what makes the gold from the Alleghany area, from the Tightener vein. so famous. And here's an old picture of yours truly when he'd given me that gold to sell, and then I went ahead and I sold a couple pieces out of it, and then gave it back to him because he didn't need to sell anymore. I got enough from just the one nugget to pay the doctor bill that he had, and that was all it took. I just sold the one nugget and gave the rest back, and they put it back in storage. Yeah, 32.75 grams. It's just over an ounce in that nugget right there. I think that's the same one, just weighing a little bit more. I took all kinds of pictures of them. Another shot of it. And, you know, that big 7-pound nugget that he's talking about, that's coming up. So stay tuned. We're just moving right along here. Yeah, I highly recommend you guys making an appointment to go to Alleghany and take a tour of the 16-to-1 mine. Then when you get done and get back out into the mining office, buy some of that gold. I mean, you just can't go wrong when you're buying Alleghany gold. That Tightener vein, the gold is so beautiful, as you can see here. And you can also type in Mother Lode Gold Hounds and take a look at our website. And then also you can type in the Morning Glory Lode Mine or the Morning Glory Group, and you can see and read all about the 16-to-1 mine and its partnership that it has nowadays. You know, it's no longer owned by, you know, Wally Hardy Sr. or Jr. or any of our part of the family, and it hasn't been for many, many years. But the family's still known around Alleghany, and I still got some people there and some family there that kind of, people that look like my brothers, and even though we're not even related, you know, we kind of all look the same when we were born out in the woods. There's that piece right there, that big piece from that other picture. 32 grams. Just a little bit over an ounce. And next, that 50-cent piece, you know, you can see it's actually bigger than the 50-cent piece. That was a huge, giant, beautiful slab of gold. And where it is today, well, I have no idea. I'm sure my sister could tell you, but nobody can find her either. She kind of disappeared. Everything. The problem was we lost our mom and dad, you know, within the last 2 years, and, you know, she was so sad, she just kind of fell silent, and that was it, and we haven't pretty much heard from her, and try and contact her, and she won't talk to anybody, and, well, such is life when you lose your parents that close together, you know. Yeah, it was a shame watching her go downhill and isolate herself from the rest of the family, but you know what, that's how family goes sometimes. You do your best, and all you can do is stand by and hope that she'll snap out of it someday and realize that, hey, you know what, family's family, and really anybody else right second. This is just some pictures of the other gold that I got out of the Kanaka Creek down below when I was down there doing some panning one day. And here's a picture of all the gold that the family had at one time. You can see the big 1.5 ounce picture up there on the top. And if you look down just below the barrel of the gun, there's that piece of black quartz. That's that piece that I broke up before I actually broke it up. Like I said, it was just a useless piece of quartz. And you can see it there, right there in the center, even better in this picture. And then there's that 1.5 ounce piece up in the upper right-hand corner. Some of the stuff I'd never seen. The one right off the end of the barrel is the one that I sold on eBay. The one above it, my sister got that one. And then there's some other stuff. There's 2 tie pins that were made from the gold of the Morning Glory. And one of them went to my son, the small one up there, and then the other one went to my nephew. And so yeah, she didn't get all the gold. Don't get me get it wrong, because they did get split up around the family. And there's that 7-pound piece up there in the very top, and that's my mom's holding that for the picture, and that's the one that took first place in the state fair every time we, you know, the family entered it back in the day. Well, I can't remember if it said it was before or after World War II. I think it was before World War II. You know, it was right around the World War II era. Beautiful piece of gold right there. You know, and isn't that just outrageous? 7 pounds of gold. And they sold that many, many years ago. And there's Mom. You know, that was our famous picture, you know, of Mom looking at all the gold and taking care of everything. And then I want to dedicate this picture to my mom and dad. There's Wally and Joan Hardy. And this is it. You guys, you have a good one. Thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed.